All right, Salakia, I had to take that call. I'm back now. I'm about to close up. Getting late. The sun has already went down, so I'm gonna finish explaining here. So yeah, when you go into the Roman Empire, it was a very strong kingdom because they used iron. Iron was incorporated into all their military weapons, you know. So basically, they had iron chariots, iron swords, iron helmet, iron shields, iron armor, and things of that nature. And they had a very powerful army. They were able to crush and conquer their enemies. So it says verse 33, this is back in Daniel chapter 2 verse 33, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. And yes, the part of iron and part of clay is going into those nations that are partially, well, those nations that are strong and then they're weak. So Rome's tributaries, like the tributary states that pay tribute to Rome, some of them are strong and some of them were weak. And usually the weaker ones, they relied on Rome to do things for them. And that represents pretty much, it represents NATO and the EU, right? NATO and the EU today. That's how it is. And who's Rome today? Rome today is America. And they're strong. And right now, America, they want to branch out from the EU and also NATO. You had earlier this year, I believe, Zelensky, he came out and said the United States undermines the EU. And I think Marco Rubio came out earlier this year, I think it was about 2 months ago, he said that, I think it was the EU were like junior partners. See if I can pull that up. Yeah, no, it was NATO, not the EU. Yeah, it says Rubio says U.S. can't let. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Pull it up here. Yeah, he said Trump's top diplomat Rubio mocks NATO's junior partners. NATO is good only as long. Yeah, that's what he said. He basically mocked NATO and called them junior partners. And America doesn't want to be in league with the NATO members, which are these other nations. They're dragging them down. That's why I believe Donald Trump, he demanded that all the NATO members, they take 2% out of their GDP and put it towards military. Because the United States, if a war were to happen, the United States would have to aid these other these weaker countries when it came to war, when it comes to warfare and stuff like that. And you see that happening now. Just saying, if you go into what's going on with Ukraine and Russia, who's pretty much backing Ukraine? The United States. Supplying them with who's helping Ukraine? It's the United States, supplying them with money and weapons and things of that nature, and the United States is tired of that. Now, anyways, let me just go back. Let me just finish up. This is Daniel chapter 2, verse 34. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces. Then the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broke into pieces together and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. Yeah, that's it. And that's Yahushai taking this place down. Taking this place down. Now I'm going to jump down to verse 40. And it says, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. And this is talking about the ancient Roman Empire. And also that represents America today, because America is in the spirit of Rome. America is Rome revitalized. And they're moving the exact same way. They have a very strong military, very strong. All these other nations look up to them. And they supply other countries aid. And that's what you're supposed to do if you're a superpower. A superpower is supposed to help weaker nations. It just comes with the territory. If you're stronger, you gotta help. Especially if those weaker nations want to be a part of you or be with you. So, and it also describes here that iron is very, very powerful. And that's going into their military strength. Verse 41, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And that's going into that and going into how some nations are stronger and some nations are weaker. And because of that, it has taken a toll on Babylon the Great. Remember, Babylon the Great provides aid to all these nations, especially nations like Israel. Billions of dollars a year go to Israel. And that's the United States, which is Rome in the spirit, spreading themselves thin. They're spreading themselves thin by helping all these other nations and sending them money, putting their military out there all over the world, setting up these military bases. It's actually causing them to get weaker. And that's why I read to you earlier that headline about what Marco Rubio said, and I also talked about how Trump feels on how he wants America to get out of these alliances, because it's making them weak and it's putting them in debt. Rome had a serious debt problem, man. They did something called coin clipping. Money, the debasement of money. A lot of, the money back then, it was composed of metals, like gold, silver, copper. Nearing the end of, going into Rome's end, when it was about to die, or when it started to go down, like circle down the drain, so to speak. A lot of those Caesars, they started to do something called coin clipping. They would take the metals out of the coins and they would just add fillers to it. And that's what America's doing today. They got rid of the penny. They're getting rid of quarters now. I know in Canada for a fact they got rid of the penny. And that was made of copper. Now you got paper money. And then you look at the infrastructure of this place. All the roads are dilapidated. I think in Canada right now it's at a C rating. But in the United States, which is Rome, it's at a D rating. All the roads are dilapidated, the bridges are outdated. And that's what happened in ancient Rome. Everything began to just fall apart. So, yeah, that's it. Verse 43, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. There you go. And they are divided. Kingdom cannot be a kingdom if it's divided. If Satan cast out Satan, pretty much they're divided. And that kingdom is not going to stand. America is not going to stand. America is going down. These alliances are going down. And that's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. So I'm going to close up now. Hope this was a good, edifying highways. Lord willing, I'll come out again since I'm off right now. So with that, just want to give all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rakah HaKadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of GMS that do rule well and that do teach well and that have taught me this truth. To you I say shalom, and shalom unto the hopeful elect. Kwam Yashala and abad babal.